everybody. Welcome to the latest episode of the Female Film Critics panel. And this is very exciting. I think this is the 75th episode of Female Film Critics panel, which is really amazing.
Yay! Yay,
So thank you
congrats.
so much. What an amazing collection of interviews and discussions and everything that we've had over the years. I started this during the pandemic because it hadn't been too long since I'd had the Shazam debacle, that I'd been hazed pretty bad online about that, and I just like needed communication with other critics, right? And so I started that, and it's just been super fun and wonderful. But today I'm very excited because the children of the world, the teenagers of the world, are all going back to school. And so I thought it would be fun to talk about back to school movies set in school, about teachers, about students, all that fun stuff. And we have our top 7 favorite back to school movies. And I couldn't do this alone. I had to have my friend who is a teacher, amazing, and critic and teacher. Natasha Alvar is here. And Natasha, thank you so much for doing this.
Hi,
Yeah.
thanks for having me. I wanted to say that, for Singapore, we've been back to school for a while now.
Oh yeah.
So it's
What
I'm
are
back
your
here.
semesters like?
So we start in January. So that's
Uh-huh.
the beginning of the school year, and then it's all the way until like May. And then from May to like June, and you get like a 1 month summer vacation, and
Oh,
then we're
only one
back
month?
again. Yeah.
Oh, y'all are so hardworking. That's why you do better in school scores. That's
We're also like tired. So that's the drawback. But I think it's because we have like 1 week breaks in the middle, but I don't know if you guys have it as well. So like
oh,
in
okay.
March we will get like a 1 week break, and then in September we get like another 1 week break. So
Uh-huh.
I guess maybe it evens out. I don't know. But
Yeah.
yeah, so it goes from then June to about November,
Hmm.
and then November to December is your like
Yeah.
winter break. Yeah.
Well, as a teacher, do you find it like frustrating to watch movies about teachers and about school? You're like, that's so ridiculous, or do you like it? Do you think it's fun?
Um, well, I think maybe movies like Freedom Writers and Dangerous Minds is
Hmm.
just giving people all the wrong ideas and like
Okay.
encouraging and inspiring you, to make a difference and join the
Hmm.
profession. And then when you go in, it's like, okay, I'm no Michelle Pfeiffer, like no one's things are not gonna work out the way I thought they would. Um, I think I prefer it. I think when the teacher is not as central to
More about the
to
students.
the film. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I think I watched Weapons recently, and then I think it starts from the perspective of the
Oh
teacher,
yeah, you're
and
right. It does.
that kind of felt like so I think like you go to the movies to escape your life. Like you don't want to like see it there. Yeah. But I
You're having
think
like
one of my
nightmares.
choices, yeah.
There's just one kid in your class, they're all gone.
Yeah, because I
Running.
can just imagine, right? I can just imagine. Like I think if I were in her shoes, it'd be so hard. I
Oh
think,
yeah.
especially if you had nothing to do with anything, right? And your whole life is like ruined, like professionally, But okay, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it would
I won't think too much
especially
about it. Yeah.
especially being an addict like she is, like that would
Yeah.
be a doom spiral for sure.
Yeah. And I think now with, the internet and everything so available online, I think the scrutiny would be even more intense, I would think.
Hmm.
Compared to I think like when I was growing up, I think you can't Google your teachers, right? But my
Yeah.
students now, they Google me, you know what I mean? And, and
Yeah.
so they know about, the things that I do like outside of school, which is very
Yeah.
disconcerting. Yeah.
Don't
So
Google yourself. I mean, I certainly would never, I do not Google myself because I guarantee you there's lots of not nice stuff.
oh God, okay, I
Yeah.
hope not. Yeah, but that's the nature of the internet now. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
mhm.
In fact, we were just talking about the movie Duff and how that movie shows how the changing of how teens deal with social media. We were talking about it in our bonus episode that we have for the patrons. So if you want to hear more about that discussion, because it's really good, sign up for the Patreon, and any level gets to hear the bonus episodes. And so even for $3 a month, you can be part of the bonus episodes. You can be part of our Facebook group. You get to be part of our monthly patron watch-alongs and other events where we have stars on, talk about their movies and watch them with them. Super fun. I really try to make the Patreon very worth your while and worth the investment, and it helps me so much. So check that out. Bonus episode and at the Patreon. You can see the link in the description to hear more about that. But let's dive in. Let's talk about I really tried. This was not a requirement, but I kind of tried to pick for each of my 7 picks. There are sort of slightly different takes. Like I have a horror take. I have a traditional inspirational, like you were talking about, take. I have comedy take. I have a musical take. I have like I and I tried to pick movies that I don't talk about like ad nauseum, like Perks of Being a Wallflower, or things like that I love so much. So I tried to make it a little bit different because we want this to be interesting and not the same podcast I've done a million times. So
Yeah.
that's my preamble. But what is your number 7?
My number 7 is the John Hughes classic, The Breakfast Club.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think the fact that I think John Hughes was writing this, I think makes it really great. I think
Yeah.
the only drawback to it, and I think why it's lower on the list, is because it's kind of dated in the things that it discusses. And I think the thing that Bender, some of the stuff that Bender says is really kind of offensive. And I think I didn't really like the whole Ali Sheedy's transformation, into like, I
Mm-hmm.
guess, more popular-esque. But I think the opening monologue, and I think about the 5 archetypes and how people look at students, and I think how adults perceive young people, I think is very interesting. So I think I like the fact that the school is empty. I like that it's 5 of these different kind of students who would never interact, I guess, normally in a school setting. And I think I like how I guess idealistic it is that people from different walks of life can kind of find common ground. And
Yeah.
the acting was good. It's very naturalistic. They all felt like teens.
Yeah.
The teacher was funny. Yeah, and I think I just really enjoy it. It's not my favorite John Hughes, but I think I really like the writing, and I think the iconic ending of Don't You Forget About Me is just great. I think it's one of like the best endings with songs. It's up there with Cruel Intentions and Bittersweet Symphony for me. So I
Mm-hmm.
think all those ingredients coming together really like cements this as a really good back to school
Yeah.
film.
It's a really good pick, and I think it almost feels like it was a play. Doesn't it feel like sort of it
Yeah.
wasn't, but it has the feel of a play. And I think it works on that level. It wouldn't be that high for me as far as if I was doing a John Hughes ranking.
Yeah,
But
correct.
I think it's actually probably his best movie about a school movie, because you think it's like I
Teens,
love Some
yeah.
Kind of Wonderful. He didn't direct that, but he wrote it. But it's more just that's more of a coming of age movie than it's a school movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
I guess
It-
just to review myself, I actually did with my students, we did actually stage a version of the Breakfast Club.
oh,
Yeah. So
nice.
yeah, so we had our we I did 2 versions actually. So I did one which was the most straightforward John Hughes version with the similar characters, and then I did one that was like a Singaporean take on it. I called it lunch. So yeah, so I think I guess that speaks to the universal aspect
Mhm.
of it. Yeah. So I think
Yeah.
I like it, the fact that it kind of works like a play. It almost feels like a play.
Mm,
I think I really enjoy
yeah.
that. Yeah.
Well, my number seven is a underrated decom in the world of Disney Channel original movies. This is actually just a good movie. It's not just a good decom. It's called Geek Charming, and I don't know if you've ever seen it,
Um,
but I think it's really good. It's basically this guy. He is making this documentary about his high school, and he picks this girl that he thinks is just like a total snob, and he's going to make this documentary kind of exposing her as this snob popular girl, mean girl. And as he's filming her, he starts to realize there's like more to her, and she's kind of putting up this popular front as to hide from her grief of losing her mom and all other things that she's been dealing with. And Sarah Hyland plays the girl, and she's so good in this. Like, I cry watching this. She really does a great job. And kind of when she sort of realizes what she's been doing, how she's been treating people, and then kind of gets exposed for that through this documentary, it's it's really pretty devastating. You feel bad for her, and it's just a good movie. Like, people should check it out. Like, yes, it's a Disney Channel original movie, but it's just a good movie.
oh, okay.
Hmm.
I've never watched it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
Mm,
I started to watch it because it's on Disney, I think.
yeah.
And then I got distracted by something. So I never finished it. Yeah.
So check it out.
Yeah.
It's good. It's a good little movie, and she's very good in it.
Are you a fan of Rachel's Reviews? Do you look forward to Family Movie Night, Female Film Critics panels, or the Talking Disney podcast? If so, please consider supporting the podcast by becoming a Patreon. As a patron, you get to access monthly events such as the watch-alongs and Q&As, where you get to talk to stars and find out the behind the scenes of the movie making industry. And you can pick what I review for Family Movie Night or even become a guest on the podcast. Podcasts and YouTube channels are expensive, and I really, really could use your help. I would so appreciate it. You also get to be a member of the Facebook group where we talk about all the films that we're seeing, and we have so much fun. Go to patreon.com/hallmarkies and select one of the Rachel's fan tiers. That's patreon.com/hallmarkies.
Then what is your number six?
My number six is this little film called Flipped.
Oh,
I'm sure you watched it, right? But yeah,
flipped.
but basically it's about, yeah, Flipped. It's about this girl, Julie Baker, who is has a crush on a neighbor, and she's had this crush for like a while, Bryce Lowski. And there's a lot of, I think, interactions in school as well as the home. So I think it deals a lot, I think, about I think first love, I guess how do you navigate that weird space in school as well? Because like Bryce is of a particular kind of, popular standing in school, like all the popular girls like him, right? And then Julie Baker's like the weird girl who has chickens, yeah. So I
I
I, I
have
really
never
like
seen
that.
this. I don't think I've even heard of it.
Yeah, it's really good. Yeah.
Huh, Rob
I read the
Reiner.
book. Yeah, I read the book first. So
Huh,
and then after that I watched the film. Yeah. So
cool. Yeah,
I mean
I'll
the whole
definitely add
title
that
of
to
it,
my list.
yeah,
Must watch.
is really good.
Oh,
Yeah.
that sounds good. Cool. All right. My number six is one that I just watched a couple of months ago for Blind Spot. I'd never seen it. I have seen the musical, love the musical. It's Heathers. And so I
Yeah,
wanted
great
something
choice.
like for this list just to keep it interesting, something a little darker, something, I mean, this is a lot darker, but yeah, this is very weird and strange and interesting, and like to think what people must have thought of this in 1989. Oh God.
Yeah, yeah.
I feel like
It's
something,
it's ahead of its time, right? Yeah, yeah.
yeah, but kind of what it has to say about the way we treat people and the way that we can be manipulated by people, like the way that
Yeah.
she can be manipulated. It's really interesting and really good, and the musical is even better. It's the composer of the musical, his name is Lawrence O'Keefe, and he is so good. I think he's so underrated because he did Legally Blonde, the musical, which I love and adore. I think it's so good. And I love Heather's the musical. And then he also did this little musical called Bat Boy, which I love. And so he's 3 for 3 for me.
Yeah,
Lawrence
yeah,
O'Keefe.
yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
yeah, I think Heather's it's visually interesting. It's weird. It's the kind of movie that you want to see and talk about, and then you should see the musical, and it's so good. And so yeah, my number 6. What do you have at 5?
Oh man, my 5 is a cliched choice, but it has to like be there. It's High School Musical.
I have it on my list, so it's okay.
Yeah. I mean, I know it's like, it's a typical choice, but I can't like I think make a back to school list without
Yeah,
High School Musical being there. I think the fact that its influence is seen until today. Like, there was the whole
yeah,
series of High School Musical, the musical, the series, right?
yeah.
And I think current young adults know it as well, which is I think, oh, wow, I think it's iconic in that way. Yeah.
If you ever come to Utah, I'll take you
Yeah.
to East High. I'll
Oh,
take you everywhere that
nice.
it's built.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Um, and
Yeah.
so yeah, it's got nostalgia on that level. It's all filmed in
Yeah.
Utah.
Yeah.
The
And I
but
love
yeah, it's
Kenny Ortega.
charming. The
I
songs are
love Kenny
so
Ortega.
catchy, and it's a nice
Yeah.
basic message.
Yeah. Don't pigeonhole
Yeah, don't stick to the status
yeah, people.
quo. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think because it's helmed by Kenny Ortega,
Oh
I
yeah.
think he just knows how to like film dance and choreograph
Yeah,
set pieces, and
he
it's just really
does.
good. Yeah, he's like expert at that.
It's true.
So
The Last Descendants and the Last Zombies movie, not as good. I mean, they were
yeah.
both ridiculous, but they didn't have his choreography.
Yeah, he just knows how to like translate all that complications to like screen and make it look like really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, I mean, uh this is the beginning. I know everyone talks about like I think they number 2 is the best. So, like there's all this like I think discussion about which is the best High School Musical movie. But I like the first one the best, I think. To me it's like
I do too.
it has I think the best songs, the best
Yeah,
everything. Yeah.
I agree. I agree. There are a lot of people who say that second's the best. No, no, it's not as good. Not as memorable songs, but they're all fun. And I enjoy them all.
Yeah.
I do. I
Yeah.
like them all. So, all right. So my number 5, I actually have Mean Girls at 5, and in the battle between Clueless and Mean Girls, I'm of course team Clueless, but I don't feel like Clueless is as much a school movie. Of course, you got the teachers, you've got scenes at school, you've got the debate thing, legendary. But I don't know. I just feel like Mean Girls is more about school,
Yeah. I mean, it's
especially Tina
primarily
Fey's
like
character
staged
being
in
a
the school.
teacher,
Yeah. Yeah.
and the whole big climactic meeting, where what has Regina George done mean to you? That whole thing is hilarious. It's so good. And yeah, I think with the burn book, there's just a lot more at school.
Yeah. Like that choice is so fetch, Rachel.
Yeah.
I'm
Stop trying to
sorry.
make it happen.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. I agree. Yeah.
Another good musical. We could just
Yeah.
have we could have a whole ranking of of school movies that have
That
been turned into
became
musicals.
musicals. Yeah. Yeah. But do you like the musical version, like the new one?
I thought it was
On the filmed one,
okay.
the movie.
I did
Yeah.
give Refresh. I thought it was okay. It was entertaining,
Yeah.
but nowhere near as good as the original.
Yeah. I don't know why. Like you
And they
would think
cut
that it,
so
it
many
had all the
songs.
ingredients. So that's the reason you think?
They cut
Not enough.
14 songs.
Oh, wow.
That's a lot. They
There
cut a
were
lot of
15 more
songs.
songs. Wow, okay.
And
That's a lot.
it just wasn't as funny. I thought it was fine. It was entertaining enough, but just nowhere near as good as the original. Nowhere sharp, as incisive, as funny. So I was more in it for the songs and the choreography and some of the staging and and I did like the only thing that I liked probably better than the original was I did feel like that girl that was the lead felt more like a teenager, an ordinary teenager than Lindsay Lohan did. You know what I'm
Uh,
saying?
yeah,
She
yeah,
feels more like
yeah.
a movie star to me.
Yeah, I think,
But
yeah.
it was, I
Because I
think I gave it
think,
like I would give the musical like a B minus. Like it was, you know, but then I would give the real one, I would give it like an A.
all
So
the top marks. Yeah,
yes,
yeah. I
yes,
agree. I agree.
yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you have at 4?
That for, well, I mean, after you just said you would give Mean Girls an A, okay, it's not related, it's not Mean Girls, but it's Easy A, with Emma
Yeah, that's a good
Stone.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I think, yeah, so I think it's so quirky, and I guess our parents are always like made fun of now, right? And everyone's like,
Hmm.
oh, they're quintessentially the quirky parents. But I
Yeah.
like how like funny it is, and I think this is definitely Emma Stone's like breakout role.
Hmm.
And I think the way like rumors kind of spread and
Yeah.
how she became, she's antagonized. I mean, she was basically like became like the school pariah, right? After all those rumors started to like spread. And I think the cruelty of some of it was just like I didn't expect that to, come across in a high school film. Like then there's this guy who takes her out for a date and she thinks it's a real date, but then he gives her like some like voucher, some card to like kind of, suggest that it's like transactional, and then she gets
Oh
quite
yeah.
emotional.
I
Yeah.
haven't
So
seen that one
I
in a
I was
long
like, yeah,
time. I haven't
yeah,
seen it
yeah.
in a long time. Yeah. Forgot about
And
that. Yeah.
yeah, it has the classic, I've got a pocket full of sunshine. The best.
I mean, I give that movie a lot of credit. They made The Scarlet Letter palatable. I hate that book.
Yeah.
Stand that book. So way to go. You did a great job. That book, I wonder what I would think now. That is one of those books that I think is ruined by any joy that you might, any interest, any excitement that you might have from it is just ruined in high school when you have to, at least here at you, everybody reads it in high school. And it's just like, what does the red rose mean? What is it symbolic of? Why does she walk by? It's just, oh, the worst. That is the
I'm
worst way to
having
read.
this.
Nobody likes reading that way. What's this symbolic of? What is this like? You just want to read about the story, and do you like the story? And that's what I think that ruins reading for a lot of students. That it's like they don't want
My
to read
God.
that way. They want to read for the story and the characters, and they don't want to read about what is this trying to say about Marxism. And it's the worst. Those that kind of like, what does this say about feminist theory? Like that kind of reading is the worst. And so yeah, way to go,
Oh
Easy
my
A.
God. Yeah. Rachel, I think I'm gonna be jobless. That's what I do. That's my job as a lead teacher. Okay, but But I think we consider, I think, what the students would like to read before we
Yeah.
choose the books. But there is a lot of, I guess, like, what is this symbolic of, or
Oh,
like,
don't do
you
it. Don't
know,
do it.
yeah. But the good thing is that I think a lot of the students say that when they read the book on its own, they don't think it's as interesting as when we talk about it in class. So I
See, you're
think
a
that
good
to me is
teacher
like,
then.
okay.
Because that kind of
So
analysis was death to me as a kid. I really disliked it. And when I was in
yeah,
high school, because there wasn't really, what's so interesting, and this is a total tangent, but what's so interesting is that like the whole idea of young adult fiction is something
yeah,
that is like fairly new in the way that it is now.
yeah,
Like when I
yeah,
was
yeah.
way back in the Stone Age, when I was going to high school, sure, there were books that were written for young people, obviously, but like just not in the same way as this like whole like
Yeah,
genre,
genre.
like
Yeah,
most
yeah.
of what I read in high school was more like I got on a John Grisham phase, which is random. I read a lot of legal books, which is bizarre. But things like gosh, most of the stuff that I liked to read, or most of the stuff I remember being made for me was like younger, like The Babysitter's Club or Sweet Valley High, or
Yeah,
those kind of things. That was more like middle
yeah. Nancy
school, but
Drew.
I can't remember
Yeah.
that much that was like made. There's like The Outsiders, or there was
Like
stuff like that.
specifically for, yeah, like for
A,
young adult, right?
yeah, A
Yeah,
Separate Piece, which I
yeah.
absolutely despised. I hated that book, but that was one that I really hated. But my favorite teachers, as far as literature, were the ones that took a little bit of risk. Because I had a English teacher. We read Watership Down, and that was one where I didn't mind talking about the symbolism because it's so obviously the whole thing's an allegory. So like it makes sense to talk about symbolism.
Yeah, yeah,
It's obviously not just about bunnies, it's about more than that. So that's one I remember.
yeah.
I remember reading Death of a Salesman and really
Oh,
loving reading
Arthur
that.
Miller.
It was
Yeah,
so
yeah.
depressing. Like to me, that was an interesting one to talk about. To Kill a Mockingbird. I think you can tell that To Kill a Mockingbird is a great book on many levels, but because almost everybody here at least reads it in high school and it's still good.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
Oh,
like it's still good
yeah,
even when people
yeah,
read it. Um,
yeah,
but that's a great
yeah.
book. But yeah,
Yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. I think growing up, there was all the Babysitters Club, Sweet Valley, Enid
yeah,
Blyton, right? And then after that, you kind of go into like the older part of your life when you're in like high school, whatever. And then I think I was reading like Sidney Sheldon
yeah,
and like Jeffrey Archer.
yeah.
Like I
I
was
don't
reading, I
remember
think, what my
anything
mom was reading. Yeah, I was
that
reading
was
what my
like,
mom was reading, essentially. Yeah.
yeah. I don't even know how I got in the John Grisham phase, but
Yeah,
but
that's perplexing.
it's those kinds of books that
Yeah.
I don't remember almost anything that was even popular that was geared towards teenagers when I was a teenager, as far as
Yeah,
books.
yeah,
I
yeah.
just don't. So it's
Um,
kind of fascinating that something could become that much of a phenomenon in my lifetime,
yeah,
post high
yeah. I
school.
agree, I agree. I mean, Judy Bloom, I would say maybe it's
Yeah,
the
yeah, that's a good
closest.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
That was probably too edgy for my mom wouldn't have encouraged Judy Blume, but I probably would have liked it.
yeah. I think I
Yeah.
found out about periods from Judy Bloom. Like
Yeah.
that's I think the first time I read about it, and I was like horrified. It's like, oh my God, this is what awaits.
Yeah.
No, thank you. But
Yeah. Well,
yeah,
my mom had a baby when I was 10, when I was 16, and when I was 18. So especially that 10-year-old baby, that inspired a lot of questions. So that's how I found out about all that
um,
stuff. that.
I understand. Yeah.
And in fact, when it's interesting because I have this vivid memory of coming and telling my fellow students that my mom had had a baby, but it's got to be a Mandela effect because my sister was born June 18th. I know we didn't have school that late. So it's so weird. Like I really remember this. Very weird. But anyway,
Yeah.
I had told I think a couple of my friends, their moms had babies, and I was like, this is a great idea. And so I told my mom, I was like, you should have a baby. This would be really fun. And and my mom had horrible pregnancies. They were really hard. And so, but then like a month or two later, they like sat us down and were like, surprise, we're having a baby. And I was like, they listened. They took my idea.
They're like, we gotta get it on the schedule. Like,
So, yeah,
yeah.
it's interesting. And I kind of joke with my mom that she had every time we moved, she had a baby.
Oh,
she had
oh.
she had a baby in Utah. She had a baby in Maryland. She had a baby in California. I'm like, don't move anymore. But anyway, so it was an adventure. Okay, so my number 4, this is where I wanted to include one sports movie because there's lots of movies about high school sports or kids sports. So I have Hoosiers as number 4. This is the ultimate high school sports movie. It really captures that sense of like community around a school and how much people care, especially in Indiana, because they're intense. I lived there, about their high school basketball and sports in general. And
Yeah.
the amount of scrutiny on the coach, the fact that he is that he's had this disgrace. He was fired from the college team because of his alcoholism and his anger. He's being sent down to this high school team. Do people trust him? Do people like him? You have Dennis Hopper in an incredible performance as this unhinged alcoholic father. Gene Hackman is so good as the coach, incredible. Barbara Hershey, really good. So incredible cast. All the actors playing the students are really good. It's crazy. You go to Indiana, and so many people have like pieces of the gym floor and like artifacts from the movie. I mean, this is a really important movie there.
Oh,
And
wow.
yeah, oh yeah. And the score is incredible. They actually have sounds of basketballs slapping, against the court worked into the actual score, which is incredible.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just really, really, it's just a great movie. It's really well written. Jerry Goldsmith did the score. It's really well made. It's just it's a classic. So that is Hoosiers. That is my number 4.
Hey.
What is your number 3?
Okay, my number 3, I guess, is one of the maybe it's a school film, back to school, but not so school, I guess. Some Kind of Wonderful.
Oh, I
Like, I
love
think the
that.
fact that I included The Breakfast Club meant that I had to include Some Kind of Wonderful somewhere, because it's the film that I prefer and the film that I like.
Yeah.
I do think it has a lot of school elements, even though, yeah, a lot of the scenes take place outside of school, but I think it talks a lot, I think, about school dynamics, and I think where you are in the popularity chain or
Yeah,
the
that's
status
true.
quo. Yeah, and I
Well, and
think we
also
can all relate.
him
Yeah.
deciding what he wants to do as far as
Yeah,
college.
his
That's a big
future.
part.
Yeah, what awaits, right? I like the line where I think Watts is wearing the earrings or something, and then he says, "You look good wearing my future." So that's kind of
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
It has a
So
lot of like really
good.
nice lines. Yeah. So I think I'm a sucker
Underrated.
for compared to like all I think
Hmm.
the films of the time, right, the 80s. I think Pretty in Pink is known more or maybe more popular, which I don't understand. But
Hmm.
yeah, and I think we can all relate to having, I think, that kind of unrealistic crush in school where, there's
Yeah.
this person who's just like, gorgeous and, otherworldly. And then, when you meet them, you just realize that they're human, right? So I really like, I think, the character of Amanda Jones as well.
Yes.
I think, they even though I guess there were scenes that kind of, objectified her or whatever, but I do think they tried to kind of make her more than, what she was, I think, to everyone, all the
Hmm.
guys. And Watts is like amazing. I have like
Oh.
such a girl crush on her.
I so
Yeah.
agree. I think that Amanda is actually a really fleshed out, nuanced character. Like she
Yeah.
should just be an
Yeah.
archetype. This is why I think this is better than Breakfast Club. I completely agree with you
Yes.
about that
Yeah.
because these are fully fleshed out, unique, real characters that
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love. I really do think this is quite underrated, underappreciated. I think it's as good as Say Anything, and I feel like Say Anything gets. I love Say Anything. I think it's really good, but it's not really about school. But I think that they both do a great job of creating fully nuanced, textured teenage characters that you are rooting for.
Yeah. I think
Mhm.
that's I guess the appeal of these movies, right? And the fact that they
Yeah.
still have resonance until today.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think I always feel kind of sad or lament, I think, that we don't really get a lot of these, I think, from the 2010s onwards. Like,
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
weird.
know
Why
how
is that?
many. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I feel like a lot of the current teen movies are like riffing off of these older ones, you know like there was Prom
Yeah.
Pact, which
Oh,
I
I
think
love
was,
Prom Pact.
yeah, but it's riffing off of some kind of
Yeah, you're
wonderful, right? It's
right.
kind of doing something similar. um and then I think there was the whole when Harry Met Sally. I
Mm,
think there was another one that was kind of a riff of that. So I would love to see, I think, one that's, I think, really the embodiment, I think, of the time that it's in.
mhm.
Yeah. So I think the closest maybe is To All the Boys, I feel.
Yeah, I think that's
Maybe.
fair. Prom
Yeah.
Pact, it's not really about school, but I do love that movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
It's really
really
good.
good. Yeah. Okay, well, my number three is High School Musical. I have as three. I think it does a really good job.
Yay!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does a really good job talking about clicks and it's the songs are so catchy. The choreography, like you said, is really good. And it's just a fun little movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
is.
So what do you have at two?
It's Mean Girls.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's
Yeah,
really good.
I don't know. Iconic lines, iconic
Mhm.
portrayals. Regina George is just up there as one of, like, I think, the more complex kind of villains in a teen show,
Mhm.
a teen movie.
Yeah,
Rachel McAdams is just so good in the way she delivers like lines. She makes it sound so bitchy and not bitchy at the same time.
yeah,
Like it's great. Like, and the fact that she was like coming off this and The Notebook at the same time.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's
just
wild.
yeah, career defining stuff. I
She
love,
gets
I
hit
think,
by
the
a bus.
screenplay. Yeah, screenplay is great. The limit does not exist. I think there's so many like quotable lines, and I think
Yeah.
I like how it still has resonance until today. I
Hmm.
think we can all relate to what Katie was feeling, right? I think the idea of like not wanting to be invisible, I think that's just a very relatable feeling, wanting to be seen. I think caring about what people think of you, right? Wanting all these things for, I guess, the wrong reasons. Yeah, so I don't know. I think it's just yeah, and I like I think I like Tina Fey's teacher. I think it's very sad that she got accused of like being a drug addict. It's like
Yeah.
unfortunate.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I do think she was like a really good teacher character, like realistic teacher
Yeah.
character, I
Yeah. I
feel,
agree.
compared to like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Mean Girls number
What did
2.
you think of the musical? Did you like it, or the musical movie?
I've not watched the actual musicals. I watched the movie. I watched it on the plane, so I don't know like how much of it was influenced by like the air pressure and me falling asleep. Like, so, I just feel like it didn't have as much bite as the
No, it
original.
didn't.
Yeah. But I did enjoy Avantika's performance of Sexy. I thought that was the
Yeah.
most enjoyable part. Like I like the way they used, I think, the cameras and the TikTok kind of formatting and screen to kind of transition into
Yeah.
the real world. Yeah, so I think that was the most, I think, Gen Z, I guess, aspect of it. I felt.
If you ever
Yeah.
get a chance to see the musical on stage, it's
Yeah.
actually pretty fun. It's better than the movie, of course, as most
Yeah.
most Broadway
I'm shocked
musicals are
that
better than the movie.
I'm shocked that they cut 14 songs. That was like news to me. I was like, wow, that's
Yeah,
insane.
a
Yeah,
lot.
yeah,
They got a lot.
yeah.
I mean, most of those are like little reprises and stuff, but still, they cut a lot of songs. A lot of
Yeah.
songs. So yeah, it's a completely forgettable film. But the original is not forgettable and it's super fun. So good choice. My number 2 is actually where I have Napoleon Dynamite at number 2.
Oh, great.
And
Yeah.
Napoleon Dynamite, and I was thinking, is it enough about school? Because it's a lot of other stuff. But like really the central is vote for Pedro in the school election and his friends. And I I I think that when you really think about Napoleon, his life is pretty sad. Nobody's
Yeah.
really taking care of him. Like nobody really cares about him. But he is like plucky and optimistic and sweet and funny. And what he does for his friend at the end with his dance is like really sweet and just so many quotable lines. There's not many more quotable movies than Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah.
And girls like guys with skills, nunchucking skills, skills. And
The whole
it's great.
bath sequence was great when
Oh
Pedro's
yeah,
like feels super hot. He goes home and he takes a bath and then
who
he
can't
shaves his
relate to
head.
that?
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and his tots and so I had to have it at number 2. Pulling
Yeah.
Dynamite. Vote for Pedro.
It, yeah, it's a great little film. Yeah. It's I think it's sad that I haven't seen John Heder in much
Mm-mm.
recently, I would say. I
Yeah,
think the last one was like The Blades of Glory with Will
yeah, I think
Ferrell.
so.
Yeah. I think that
I
was yeah.
It must be a weird thing because I mean he was probably paid like I'm sure he's made plenty off of the Napoleon character since, but still, he was probably paid like nothing to be in the movie. He was
Yeah.
just probably he was
Yeah.
helping friends. He was doing this little small movie, and then it becomes this phenomenon.
Yeah. I always like when that happens, right? Like I love
Yeah,
it when like, the indie flick like I think becomes like bigger than, you
yeah,
think it would be. And then it's just an instant classic in this case.
yeah. Well, in a way,
Yeah.
you could even say that about High School Musical. I mean, they had no idea when they were making this little decom,
That's true.
for I'm
Yeah.
sure a nothing budget, that it was going to become
Yeah.
this phenomenon.
Yeah. And
And
then eventually like get staged. I mean, it was in cinemas, right? The third
the third
film.
one, yeah.
Like it was so
And
big. Yeah.
everybody involved pretty much has become stars and or had careers, it's one way or another.
Yeah.
Even someone like a Corbin Bleu, he's like on Broadway and doing musicals and things like that. So he's done some Hallmark movies. So
Yeah. He
Hallmark
came back
Lifetime.
for the he came back for the series, High School Musical, the musical, the
Oh, he
series.
did.
Like yeah, but he played himself in it. He was playing
I watched
Corbin
that
Blue.
series for the first 2 seasons, and then they really made me mad, and so then I stopped watching. With
Why? Oh my God.
because I really liked fan of EJ and Gina. They had incredible chemistry, those two actors. And then because Nina left, then they had to put her with Ricky, and I was really mad, and so then I stopped watching the show.
Okay, can I tell
Oh,
you something? I'm
yeah.
also a fan of EJ and Gina.
Yes.
I was, yeah, but everyone loves, like, I think if you think about the fandom, right, and the ship wars, right, everyone is like the majority is um rooting for Ricky and Gina. And I got like I think I wrote like
Boo.
because after I watched season 3 I was like really upset because they
Yeah.
like completely ruined the relationship between Gina and EJ. And I think I wrote like a whole article about like ship wars and how this idea of shipping kind of ruins characterization and relationships in the show itself, because like they're just pandering at this point, right? When you're pandering to a fandom, I think then you're not like paying attention to your relationships. Like, I'm fine if those characters end up together, but it has to be in a way that kind of makes sense to the narrative
Yeah.
and the story and whatever it is. And I got flamed for it. Oh, like this is the
Like,
first
why
time.
not introduce a new character, especially when they'd gone to all this trouble to put EJ and Gina together? Like,
Yeah.
why not introduce a new character, a new girl in the school for Ricky? Why do you have to take away Gina from EJ? And he'd had such a nice arc, and it was just
Yeah.
sucked.
Yeah. Yeah. It was very sad. I think because the actor who plays EJ is like really like charismatic, and I think he
Yeah.
did a really good job, I think, of going from like villain to like redeemable guy,
Mm,
right? And I enjoyed their
yes.
relationship, but I tell you, we are in the minority because
Well,
everyone
everybody is wrong.
loves
We are
Ricky and
right.
Gina.
We are right.
It was scary. It was scary, Rachel. But on the plus side, my article got like a lot of views. That was great. I got paid really well. But like it was scary because I had to block like a lot of people on X because they were like blaming me.
But
Yeah,
Matt
but yeah.
Cornett, he deserves lots of roles. He's really good.
Yeah.
And the only other thing I've seen him in is Zombies 3.
He was in the summer of '69. I think it's on.
Was he? Oh, good.
Yeah. I think it's a Hulu or Disney film. He's really good in that, but I think once again, like he's been kind of typecasted as this like very
Jock.
nice romantic interest. Yeah, he's like the hot guy. It's really actually not too bad of a movie, but he's not really central to the film.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, he needs to be, if you're listening, Hollywood, Matt Cornett, hire him. He's really good. He's
Yeah,
really
yeah.
good. So anyway, I can't even remember how we got on that topic, but yeah, High School Musical, the musical, the series was good for 2 seasons, and then they ruined. It's true. So
we'd like to take a second and thank our sponsor for this episode of the podcast. It's the Hallmarkies merch store.
Are you looking for that perfect gift for the postable, hardy, or Hallmarky in your life?
What about getting that t-shirt or hoodie that will help you stand out at your next holiday party?
Now is the time to check out the Hallmarkies merch store.
Full of festive designs by artists like Jessica Miller, Carrie from Hallmark Comics, and more.
You can even have more than just shirts, but totes, cell phone cases, notebooks, mugs, and more.
And it isn't just Hallmark. We have designs for Anna Green Gables, Man from Snowy River, The Nanny, and more.
Every purchase at the merch store goes to help support the podcast and allows us to make the great content you know and love.
There are frequent sales, so go to tpublic.com/stores/Hallmarkies or see the link in the description.
That's tpublic.com/stores/Hallmarkies.
my number one, it's not really my favorite movie about school, but it has nostalgia, and I just felt like putting it here. So who cares? It's called Up the Down Staircase. And part of the reason why I wanted to have one movie on this list that is that inspirational teacher movie, like you were talking about. And this is that one. And it's really good. It's Sandy Dennis. She plays this teacher at this inner city school. Nobody wants to teach there. She goes in and she's got all these challenging students, and she works with them. And it's pretty untidy. It's not perfect. It's not. There's not like the big inspirational speeches. It's a little more grounded than that. Part of my nostalgia for this movie is that I was in the play in high school. I've never heard of any other high schools
Nice.
doing this play, Up the Down Staircase.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
we did it, and so it's just something I remember, and I think that it's worth a look. I'm guessing that most of the people that are watching this or listening to this have never heard of this movie, and so you should check it out. It's actually it's a good little inspirational teacher movie, and the play is good too. And I think that more high schools should be like my high school and do the play.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it's from
Okay.
1967. And a lot of those inspirational teacher movies I do like, but sometimes I also feel like a little frustrated. I guess I could have had the holdovers in. I didn't even, because that's college. I didn't even think of that. Well, no, it's not college, it's high school, right? Holdovers is
The
high school.
holdovers.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
could have
yeah.
had
Like it's a
number one,
boarding
part
school.
two is a holdovers. I forgot about it. But yeah, the holdovers is great too. But a lot of those inspirational teacher movies can be really manipulative. And so I kind of have I like them, but then I have mixed feelings about them. And I mean,
Yeah.
Dead Poet Society, I appreciate, but boy, that lays it on thick. Mr. Holland's
Yeah.
Opus, just those inspirational teacher movies can be a lot. But what do you have at number one?
Ironically, it's Dead Poet
Oh, yeah.
Society.
I mean,
But I
how
think
dare those boys how dare that boy wants to be in a Shakespeare play? Like, what?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, what is
But
wrong with
okay,
these
so
parents? Like, are you kidding me right now? Like, they should be thrilled that their son wants to be in Shakespeare. When did that become like whoa, that's like a crazy, wild, rebellious thing to do, is to be in Midsummer's
yeah,
Night's Dream?
yeah. No, but Rachel, it's real. It's real because now, like, I'm teaching in a boys' school, right? And
Oh,
I'm
you are.
basically, okay, I'm not Mr. Keating. Like, I'm not going around and like, oh, captain, my captain. I'm not
Carrying
doing
out
that. But
books.
yeah, no, no, no. I want to keep my job. But anyway, it is actually really true. Like I think the way the arts is viewed in schools in Singapore especially, it's just not viable, right? Like I think some of my students, when I taught them in like sec 2, so like secondary 2, they're like about 14 years old, and then in sec 3 they get to like choose their subjects, right? So some of them wanted to choose like literature, right? Because I taught them in sec 2, and then they wanted to follow up because they had interest. And then I had parents who called me, and then they were like, is this a viable option for my child? I think they should choose something, like geography or history, which makes more sense, as opposed to like literature, which they feel is, I think, bit more iffy and artsy, and just difficult, I think, to score or do anything with.
Wild.
So it's actually like really like real, like it's a real
Wow.
thing. Yeah, and
Wow.
most of the parents want their children to become like doctors and lawyers and like all these kind of esteemed professions. So I had like a whole bunch of students sometimes who don't choose a subject because they're just very afraid that they won't do well in it. So they feel
Wow.
that the uncertainty of it is just not worth it, or their parents convince them that it's better to do something else that you can tangibly score better in. Yeah, so it's actually like really real. Like I think
Yeah, that's
yeah,
interesting.
I
Those
think
parents are the
maybe in
worst.
the
I hate them so much.
it's just I don't know. It's very sad because I think there's
Oh,
the scene with Neo and his father at like the
oh,
beginning, and the father's like telling him to drop, the annual, right? Don't write for the yearbook, and do any editorial work, but it's just really like how it's viewed, right? I mean,
the tears.
yeah.
I'm a mess when I watch it. Oh,
Yeah. So I have like a love-hate relationship with this movie because like I loved it because I think it spoke to me as like a lit major. And I think when he talks about, we read and write poetry because we are members of the human race, like I think that speaks to me. And I think
yeah.
it like speaks to like the value that my job has. But like I think seeing the practical, I think, ramifications of what happens, I think just makes me like kind of like wonder
Let
why
your
I
kids
teach
be in
lit sometimes.
place.
It's just, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. No,
It's like, but
that's
maybe less
interesting.
so in the States. I don't know. But I think maybe with boys, especially because there's certain, I think, assumptions about what boys can do. Like there's always this
Mhm.
idea that literature is like more for girls because girls read more and they write
Yeah.
better and they're better at like language. Yeah.
That is so true. It is so weird to me that we as a culture, it's another tangent, but it's true that we as a culture have almost completely feminized the act of reading, which is
Yeah. Yeah.
bizarre. And if you think about like almost every time you see, even going back to like this is not a new phenomenon. If you think of like Sound of Music, where the first time we see Brigitte walking in with her face stuck in a book, like pretty much every character who is seen as actively reading that's not a science nerd is almost always a girl.
Yeah. Yeah. Like Lizzie Bennett, right?
Lizzie
Reading.
Bennett, and Shirley and Anna Green Gables, certainly Hermione, the
Yeah. Joe
just
March from Little Woman.
yes, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's so weird. It's reading. It's not like it shouldn't be a gender specific activity. I think
Yeah.
anybody can
Yeah.
read. But
Yeah.
isn't that weird? I don't know. That's crazy. Like I did a whole article years and years ago about the Hollywood and the enlightened reader, the feminine and enlightened reader. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And you almost never see it with a boy. Very
Yeah, I
rare.
think maybe we should do like like a whole like, pod on
I
like
think so.
movies about guys reading, right? Like,
Yeah.
yeah. I
I
can't
mean,
think of any off the top of my head, I think. I think you would have to like research it. Like I'm sure
yeah.
that
I
there
mean,
are,
the
but I
only
can't think of any.
I can think of geniuses just as far as like science, but almost never like the reader with the nose in the book kind of thing. If you are listening, watching, and you can think of one, put in the comments. Let us
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
and I'll think about it. But it's very rare, very, very rare.
yeah, yeah.
So, which is nonsense. All humans can read and find books that they like. If you don't like reading, it just means you haven't found the right books. And people who are like
Yeah,
audiobooks don't count or comic books don't count, graphic novels don't count, that is nonsense and
they
absurd.
count.
Stop
Yeah,
gatekeeping reading. If you're engaged in literature and if you are absorbing and learning from stories, that is what counts. That is reading. If you
yeah.
are absorbing the contents of a book, you're reading. It's so ridiculous. Anyway,
Yeah.
so there we go. We did it. We did our top 7. I have Geek Charming, Heathers, Mean Girls, Hoosiers, High School Musical, Napoleon Dynamite, and Up the Down Staircase for my picks. And which you go over your list, your 7.
Yeah, mine is The Breakfast Club, Flipped, High School Musical, Easy A, Some Kind of Wonderful, Mean Girls, and Dead Poet Society.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good picks. And I have to see Flipped. I have not seen that, so that's exciting.
Yeah.
Again, let us know your favorites, your picks, which ones you would have, what you think of our picks. We'd love to hear that in the comments section. And make sure you check out the Patreon for our bonus 3 picks and other benefits of joining the Patreon. Really appreciate it. And thank you so much, Natasha. And how can people follow you, find you?
They can follow me on X at Lit My Soul. I'm also running the fiction department, so you can find a lot of my writing on there. I think recently I wrote about materialist, which Rachel doesn't like, but yeah. So I think if you're looking for opinions, reviews on TV, books, and film, you can check it out.
Yeah.
Yep.
I didn't like the movie, but I agreed with your editorial on it. So there we go.
Yay!
Yeah.
Thumbs up.
Yes. And you can find me at Rachel's Reviews, all over social media, iTunes, YouTube, and on Rotten Tomatoes. And check out KSL Movie Show over the last month. You just look up KSL Movie Show. I'll put a link in the description. I've been on the episodes last month. Really appreciate that. And if you want to help me out. Go on their Facebook and let them know that you appreciate me being on there. I would really appreciate that. But yeah, KSL movie show. And that's a lot of fun. And check out the Hallmarkies podcast and also the playlist for Female Film Critics Panel, all of our episodes. I'll have all of that in the description. Definitely check that out. If you are listening on iTunes, please leave your ratings and reviews. Really appreciate that. Helps so much. And if you are watching on YouTube, please give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. We really appreciate that. And then we have the Patreon group, like we talked about, and the merch store. We have Female Film Critic Panel merch on there, and lots of other fun movie merch. Check that out. And thanks so much, everybody. We'll talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.